I kind of take each game individually. Blowouts are what they are. And sometimes it's not always indicative of how the game unfolds. We try to teach our kids, you just got to play 4 quarters. And you got to come in every game prepared like it's going to be your last.
Certainly. Well, teams, you guys, I guess your offense is no secret. They know what you're going to do, but no one's really been able to stop you, I guess, other than that opening game of the year. How has your offense been able to be so successful this year?
Actually, it helps to have some guys that have some experience. You see a lot of teams play us and they try to stack the line of scrimmage and stop our running game. But if you look at it, we actually throw the ball very well with our quarterback, Reynolds, Justin Lee, and Brandon Galloway. So we're able to throw the ball as well. So we don't try to be balanced. We'll run first team, but the ability to be able to throw the ball allows us to be flexible.
I know it's still pretty early in the week. It's just a Monday. But how much do you know about your opponent on Friday night here?
Well, actually, I spent all day Saturday and Sunday watching game tape on them, and they're a good football team. But if you're in the playoffs, round 1 or the last round, everybody's good. And my approach is I treat everybody the same. I prepare the same way every week. I've really been pushing the kids and the coaches every week. So, by no means are we looking at this team as any other game other than a tough football game.
Certainly. Well, I guess you got a running back who's put up just some, video game-like numbers this year. You mentioned that you guys have been able to pass the ball pretty well as well, but I guess what does his running set up for you guys?
Well, Michael Cartwright's one of the best running backs in North Carolina. But, he wouldn't be as good without a good offensive line. I think, Xavier Bennett, Wright Pierce, Jerry Davis, Xavier Lovett, and Jameer Cross, our offensive line has been consistent. We started the same 5 people for 14 straight games. And I think consistency there allows you to be able to run the ball. And if you're able to run the ball, then quite naturally, you can't stack the line of scrimmage because you're able to throw the ball.
Certainly. Well, I guess what kind of changes in preparation for a state championship week? Do you have any extra pep rallies, extra stuff you got to do? What sort of distractions is your team facing this week?
This is the first time the school's been in the state championship in 22 years. But the beauty of it all is our games on Friday, so it's a regular schedule for us all week long. We haven't done anything any different. Our itinerary is a little bit different because we have to factor into coming down to Chapel Hill, or going down to Chapel Hill. But outside of that, our preparation is exactly the same.
Certainly. Is that important for you guys to kind of stay on schedule here?
Well, actually it is. If you know anything about coaches, and you probably did or didn't, coaches are creatures of habits. We kind of like to do the same thing, especially if it's working, the same thing every week. So we pretty much just cookie cut the same schedule that we would normally use, with the exception of our itinerary, coming down to Chapel Hill to play. So.
Certainly. Well, you mentioned you haven't been to a state, or the school has not been to a state championship game in 22 years. What kind of attitude do you expect this week during practice? What do you expect to see from your kids this week?
Well, we expect first our kids to be fired up no matter what the game is, and we expect the commitment from our kids no matter who we play. This game just happened to be the last game of the season. And I told our kids that my goal was to practice on Thanksgiving. If you're practicing on Thanksgiving, you're winning. And to win the last game of the season and we're in a position where we can win our last game. So.
Certainly, and I guess your game's on Friday night at 7:30. What do you expect from your team in the state championship game?
Well, I expect our team to show up prepared. I expect our team to show up and put their best foot forward and represent themselves, the school, and the community in a way that they can be proud of at the end of the game. And I expect our kids to win.
Good deal.